Hi. You're probably wondering, what are you watching or listening to right now? A bunch of idiots about to talk about a superhero movie that just came out about a spider villain in underoos. Well, I'm here to tell you that this podcast is going to be awesome.
Spectacular.
Amazing.
Whoa. You took the word right out of my mouth.
What's up, everybody? Josiah Leroy here with Cap Amerikanski, Seth Zielinski. What's up, buddy?
What's up, everybody?
And
What's up, baby?
Jimbo, Jamie Leroy, no relation. What's up, Jamie?
Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
We are talking about Spider-Man Homecoming today.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in here to the Geekiverse's iTunes or SoundCloud channel, and also to our watchers, or viewers, I should say, on YouTube. Mm-hmm. So, we're going to talk about Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yes.
Spoilers. Nothing is off limits here. If you have not seen the movie and you're worried about spoilers, please stay away.
And then come back later when
and
you've
then
seen
come
it.
back later. So save this link, bookmark it, and come back to it right after you've seen the movie. In fact, maybe listen to it on the way home. I would encourage you to do that.
I would do it.
So we have a lot of fun here at the Geekiverse on these Spoilercasts. So we're going to dive into a lot of details today. I guess actually maybe a good starting point is first reactions. I want to hold off on Seth. He's our Spider-Man aficionado that is not over the age of 50. Grumpy.
I didn't know Grumpy was a Spider-Man aficionado.
Oh, it's like
I didn't know
his
Grumpy was
Star
over
Trek
the age
for
of 50.
superheroes. I'm so sorry. I gave away his age.
Was
Jimbo,
rude.
what compelled you about this movie? What did you like? What didn't you like? What's your overall reaction?
I thought it was awesome.
Oh, classic Jimbo.
Yeah.
Classic.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I really did think it was awesome, though. I liked that Spider-Man was a teenager with real high school problems. I also liked that they chose an actor that was just perfect for the part, and he was younger than previous Spider-Man actors, so that was nice, too. That's good. Let's move on.
Seth, overall, what do you think of the movie?
I loved the movie. I think there's it's remarkable that we were 6 Spider-Man movies deep, and they've managed to make a Spider-Man movie that's so true to the character, but that is really is unlike any of the Spider-Man movies we've gotten before. It's definitely one of the best MCU movies. It's contender for best Spider-Man movie, which is saying a lot for me because I personally put Spider-Man 2 on quite the pedestal. I think it's up there with the best superhero movies ever made. I don't know if Homecoming quite beats it. I feel like Spider-Man 2 maybe is a better movie, but Homecoming is extremely close, and Homecoming is a better Spider-Man movie. Mm-hmm. And there's so much about it that is just right up my alley. The fact that they drew so much from John Hughes movies for the teen drama really hits home for me. And there's just, on all levels, this was just wonderfully done. Loved it.
I am of the mind that this is the best Spider-Man movie we've ever seen. I don't, for whatever reason, remember Spider-Man 2 in its high regard, but not as high of the usual fans' regard. That's a hard thing to kind of dictate with how different everything is.
I'm trying to identify how much of it is just my nostalgia for the Spider-Man I grew up with and how much of it is genuinely appreciating the quality of the movie. So I've been trying to,
it's
put that
very
in perspective.
Hard.
Yeah.
And also, we're fresh off this. This was just under a week ago.
Yeah.
Well, Jamie and I saw it 2 nights ago. Mm-hmm. But you got to let it sink in sometimes, and that's not always easy.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to think, and I said it the other day when I was kind of talking about the movie, that every time I see a movie, I think it's human nature to be like, that's my favorite movie. Like,
absolutely,
that's precious in your mind if you like it, right? Like,
yes, absolutely. I've used to do that so much. But I've really tried to reduce that in recent years. But Homecoming, I was not only to gain some additional perspective, I saw it a second time, also not just to gain insight, but just I really wanted to see it again, and I really want to see it again, and that's just partially because it's a fantastic movie, but just partially because Spider-Man is, no matter the movie, is just, to me, always inherently engaging and rewatchable. He's just, I don't know, he's like almost like the perfect superhero. He's just endlessly interesting.
I thought this iteration of Spider-Man, which we'll get into in a little bit, was incredible in the sense that Tom Holland is my definitive Spider-Man in every sense of the character, whether that's Spidey or Peter Parker. Even to a lesser degree, maybe how he interacts with Aunt May, which is a different dynamic from what we're used to in the past. But I mean, this feels like this was ripped straight out of the comics. It felt like I was watching a comic book play out in front of me on screen, and that's not something that we've always gotten in these movies. But they absolutely crushed it. I couldn't have liked it, I think, anymore as I've let it sink in over just the few days here and pick apart what I liked and didn't like. I'm finding that the things that I didn't like have kind of faded away, and I'm already forgetting about them.
The more it sinks in, the more I like it. And that's just been increasing in the days since I've seen it.
It's pretty remarkable. So I want to get into some of the box office numbers here. Jamie, can you pull up the review that Pete did? I want to reference some of that in just a little bit.
Indeed.
Pete Herr of the Geekiverse.com reviewed it, gave it a 9.0 out of 10, which is one of our highest rated movies of the year from a critical standpoint. And that's something that I think, harping back to your one point, is that you and I were saying how we kind of like just whatever the latest movie is the most that we like. It sticks fresh in our mind. But we're getting better as critics, and especially as we've been a part of Geekiverse for a few years now, at kind of stepping back a little bit. Like Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite movie not named Star Wars. It's crazy to a lot of people, but it is. And going through it, I went into Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, and I was reviewing it, and I really took a step back, and I think I was critical, but not overly critical. Like, I found a good balance, which is not always easy to do. And I did the same thing with Rogue One last year. I mean, why wouldn't I just give every Star Wars movie a perfect score, right? I'm a huge Star Wars fan, because that's not the way it works. So I think that's something that we've all been able to develop a little bit and grow as writers here.
Yeah.
But
we're growing, folks.
We're growing, that's right. And you're a part of it.
Yeah.
So box office, according to Variety,
it's doing quite well, I imagine.
Very well. 257 million internationally for opening weekend, which is pretty damn impressive. Without looking at my notes, do you think it was the highest grossing film of the weekend?
Yeah.
I would think so.
No.
What?
Despicable Me 3.
Oh, come on. With
298 million.
Wow, the Minions beat the Spider.
66 million of
Is
that coming in China.
worldwide or domestic? What was that?
Everything. Worldwide.
Oh, worldwide, okay.
But think about that. 66 million from China. I don't know what that
I
stacks
believe
up to.
Spider-Man was higher domestically, though. Because it was like
It is.
114 domestically, I believe, which is a really big weekend. That's really good.
Yes. So 117, actually.
Oh, 117.
But close enough.
Okay.
But when I was flipping through our stats today and I saw Despicable Me, I was like, hang on. I must have read it like 4 times. Now, I love Despicable Me. I still have to see the third one, but like that's one of my favorite animated films.
Same.
Little tidbit, Despicable Me actually, with this third film that just came out, it was the biggest animated opening for any film in China in their history. So that's really impressive when you can make it overseas like that. Box Office Mojo. We're going to talk about how it opened against other Spider-Man films.
All right.
Adjusted for inflation to kind of level the playing field.
All right.
The top grossing opening weekend film of all time for Spider-Man was Spider-Man 3. 178 million.
Wow.
It was the highest grossing and also the best. No, not really. But I do like Spider-Man 3.
You had me there for a second. I know you better than that. I don't know why.
He's contradicting himself here.
No. It's, yeah.
The original Spider-Man was second, believe it or not, 156 million. So Homecoming falls quite short of those in this age.
It was the first Spider-Man movie.
And one of the first real, I guess,
superheroes of the modern age. Yes.
Yeah.
It was
the best way to put
X-Men,
it.
and then after that, 2 years after that, Spider-Man really elevated, and that was an exciting new time. First real Spider-Man movie, if you're not counting the 1970s stuff.
I saw Spider-Man, the 2002 version, in theaters and in the drive-in, like, at least 3 times. I just kept seeing it. Every time I would go to a movie, it was playing.
Yeah.
Whether it was the second movie or it was a part of a pair that was playing. I just couldn't get away from it. And I didn't love it at the time. And it was funny. This is way ahead of my superhero love, I guess. But I was a Star Wars fan at the time, so that was the year of Attack of the Clones. And I saw that multiple times.
Oh, yeah. I saw Spider-Man when I was 15. I was a freshman in high school, so it was very seminal. That series, it was just it hit just the right time for me.
Perfect.
What's funny to think about there? So I would have been 11, and Jamie, that means you would have been 8.
Indeed.
You were mom and dad to take you out of the theater for
What?
when Goblin visits Aunt May.
Really, when she's praying?
Yeah.
Oh,
And you know what?
That's so scary, man.
I
for a
actually
kid.
remember thinking that was a little intense too. I stayed in the theater and watched it with my dad, but maybe that just had to do with where we were with our age. Like that was
Yeah.
intense.
I would say so. But yeah, I mean,
not to
having seen it since having seen
Horrible.
it since being 8 years old, still a little freaked out. But
I've got to go back and rewatch those. I think I know someone who has that trilogy that I should borrow it from
oh yeah,
if he hasn't eaten it yet.
Oh,
You know who I'm talking
oh,
about.
jeez.
anything that's vaguely shaped like a donut down Trevor's hatch, so you can borrow my trilogy.
Oh, thank you. I don't want the one that's got bite marks in it.
You might miss a whole chunk of the movie.
You indeed will.
Oh my gosh, that was good. So continuing on the rankings, that means Homecoming was third. Spider-Man 2 finished fourth with 114 million. That means the Amazing Spider-Man movies finished below it. To kind of underwhelming numbers, relatively speaking. 94 million for Amazing Spider-Man 2 in 2014, and 2012's Amazing Spider-Man only 66.
Wow.
It's a little weird to me, but that also came out the same summer as Dark Knight Rises
And the Avengers.
and
Oh,
the Avengers.
geez.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, and there was always so much trepidation with people going into those Amazing Spider-Man movies. I feel like to an extent they never got quite a fair shake because people always were hung up on them rebooting Spider-Man so quickly. And overall, those movies weren't as good as the Raimi movies or Homecoming, but I think there's a lot to love in those movies as well. So
I actually didn't see Amazing Spider-Man 1 in theaters, now that I think of it.
Yeah.
I remember renting it when it came out.
That's so
Okay.
funny
I
because
own
I
it now.
definitely did.
yeah.
Yeah, I definitely saw the second one in theaters, but interesting how it shakes out again. In terms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe inaugural origin story film, so your Iron Man 1, your Hulk, your Thor, Cap, Guardians, Doctor Strange, so on and so forth. This is the top by far. So 117. Iron Man would have been second with 98. The original Iron
You're
Man.
talking box
Wow.
office?
Box office
Okay,
original
yeah.
weekend.
Oh, it is. Okay, yeah.
Yep. So this blows away the competition there. That's pretty good. In terms of 2017 movies, not quite the top, but top 3, which is good. So Beauty and the Beast, 174 million, which is just disgusting. It was a great movie. Like I'm just saying, like disgustingly good is what I meant.
Disgusting
Yeah.
amount of money.
That's a lot. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was 146 million.
Awesome.
Wonder Woman was 103. So it has beaten Wonder Woman, which is saying a lot because, my goodness, that was
Wonder
popular.
Woman, man, that kind of set the world on fire.
What is, and I know we'll go off on a bit of a tangent here, what's your favorite superhero movie this year? Critically aside. Like, let's not look at it from a critical standpoint and what we think might be, I guess, if you will, a good quality film.
Okay, so not...
What was your favorite?
What was my personal favorite? Probably, coincidentally, the one that I think critically was the most well received, but it's also the one that hit most for me. That was Logan. I think Logan probably is still my number one.
Man, I almost forgot
almost
Logan
forgot
came out
about
this
it.
year.
It doesn't feel like a superhero movie.
Almost. That's true. Yeah,
Man, okay.
it's really tough. I mean, and I adored Wonder Woman and I adored Homecoming.
What's funny to me, and I never in 1,000 years would have guessed this, is that I probably rank Guardians 4th in that mix.
Amazing.
And
I would say so, but I loved Guardian. Like I was saying before, I thought it was better than the original Guardians, which is not necessarily a popular opinion.
but not a slight either.
No,
Like,
I mean I thought Guardians 1 was great. It wasn't my favorite of the MCU, but it was really good. But I just feel like Volume 2 was more interesting, and it just
I need to see it again. Jamie's in the same boat as me. I know we've talked about it 100 times. We want to see it again. Like I
Yeah.
only saw it
Yeah.
once.
yeah.
I feel like
I was
it's
out of
not-
town when that came out. I was out of town when
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man came out.
What do you do?
If only something had
Wow.
come out while we were in LA.
Oh,
We would have found a way to see it.
We would have. Yeah, we could have seen it.
This guy's never home for the
Grauman's.
important things.
No, listen. When you're very busy and you work for the Geekiverse, your life is the GKV. So, you're Logan.
Thank you for that.
Sometimes I just start a sentence and I don't know where it's going to go. Michael Scott. It's an improvisation.
Yes.
An improv
Michael
conversation.
Scott. And what about you, Jim?
Michael Scott is not dead.
Thank you very much. Everybody at home was like, "What the hell is Jim on drugs?" Jim's on crack. Everybody.
That's not nice. That's how rumors start.
Next episode, Jim looks really thin. She looks really stretched out. She looks
we
really.
need to start a bunch of false rumors to drown that out, like Michael Scott.
Yes. Yep.
All right.
Did you hear that Josiah has hair plugs?
Oh, come on. I've got kind of the Max Scoville straight up hair going on. Ace Ventura a little bit.
Yeah.
It's time for a haircut, JoJo.
I would say more Max Scoville than Ace Ventura.
I think so.
But
I need like a Hawaiian collared shirt or something. A loud
I was
collared
Ace
shirt.
Ventura for
Sideburns.
Halloween one year when I was a child. And it came with a rubber wig of his hair.
Do you remember in our Geek Charades video, which you can
There's
watch
a dog.
at
here.
youtube.com/the
There's a dog
Geekiverse?
here.
We played a game of Geek Charades, and you had to describe, I think, Jim Carrey, and you said Mr. Popper's Penguins.
Well, he said a Jim Carrey movie with animals, and I said Mr. Popper's Penguins. I didn't think Ace Ventura. I don't have a rational explanation for that.
That was
Jemai.
That is like that tells me that's what you thought about. Like Ace Ventura is it. Oh, that was one of my favorite Seth moments.
I don't understand. Yeah.
When I do a
I've
Seth
never even
ranking
seen
one
Mr.
day.
Popper's Penguins. I've seen Ace Ventura.
You never saw it? Okay, so one day
That's
when I do
hilarious.
a Seth ranked on a Friday, that's what's going to be in there. I'm going to rank all of my
Seth
favorite
ranked.
Seth moments.
Yes.
Well, Mometer is going to be on there.
Yeah.
I'm the meatiest boy you've
Mometer.
ever seen is going to be on there. Or no, I'm the
Lettuce
meatiest
boy.
boy you'll ever know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I get off on a
Don't
tangent.
misquote
I like
me.
Seth a lot.
Don't misquote me.
Okay. Favorite movie, Jimbo, superhero this year.
You don't
right
wanna
now.
see
What is it? What is it?
Oh my gosh, gun to my head.
You don't pull a hypothetical gun on your sister.
Yeah, that's rude. Gonna have to go with. It's so hard because they're all so good so far.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say, I hope it's not because it's the most recent one, the freshest on my mind. But I really loved Spider-Man: Homecoming, and like Wonder Woman is so close to that. But I
I'm a
really
toss-up,
enjoyed Spider-Man.
and I could make a strong argument and probably go insane on thinking about any of Logan, Wonder Woman, or this in Homecoming as my favorite because Homecoming's the most fun, easily. Easily the most fun in
most
terms of
No,
relatable.
I
tone.
thought Logan
too.
was a very light,
Oh,
fun
yeah.
time.
It's
Logan
a
was a
lighthearted
barrel-
It
romp.
only made me think about suicide 3 times.
I mean,
Logan
that's
was
pretty
a
good.
barrel of laughs.
A barrel of laughs, yes.
A barrel.
It's a barrel of something. Such a good movie.
Barrel of something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So after Wonder Woman, I said Wonder Woman was the best movie this year. And I need to probably watch them all because Logan came out on Blu-ray and I watched it.
Yeah.
I've not watched the noir version yet, by the way.
Oh, I
Oh,
watched that.
I want to
Very
watch
cool.
that.
I haven't. I need to watch the noir version of or the black and white version of Mad Max as well. Fury Road. They released
I need
the
to do that.
The black and chrome version. I need to get that. But
That would be perfect.
yeah, Logan's very cool across both those versions. I have only seen Wonder Woman the once. I believe all of our wives were compelled to go see. They went to see Wonder Woman
They
again
did.
after they saw it with us.
Little Miss Funeral, my wife went with Mrs. Cap Amerikanski
Uh-huh.
and Molly. Did they
Yeah,
see with
yeah,
okay.
Molly,
Our
yeah.
friend Drew and Molly, so they went and saw
I would
that.
love to see it again.
That's the problem. I mean, maybe we need to watch them back to back to back so they're all fresh in our mind. So when they all come out on Blu-ray, we'll do like a marathon.
Marathon.
There you go.
I think that's a good idea.
All right then.
Lindy Ruff is
Go
excited
team.
for it.
How,
She's right
how are
here.
we on the camera time?
We should probably stop here.
Stop. All right.
Intermission.
Intermission, folks. I think we're going to take a quick break. We've got a lot to get to in segment 2. So coming up, we're going to give you our thoughts on the cast, the tone of the film, how Tom Holland compares to Garfield and Maguire. And then Seth's going to give us a little bit of an introduction on an article that he is writing currently on some comparisons to other John Hughes style-esque movies. So we're going to get to quite a bunch in segment 2. Keep it locked here to the Geekiverse. We'll be right back.